Good morning, weirdos. How are we today? I'm feeling weird. I'm feeling weird. I got my tea. What's my cup today, huh? I'm gonna tell you what. The tea's not hot enough. Let's warm it up a little bit. Let's see my cup here. Ooh. Tokyo. Yeah. Well, so let's wake up a little bit first here. This morning, this is February 14th. It is a Wednesday here in 2024, the future. I'm here. The future is now. That's better. That's hot. Hot. So, what's been going on? Once again, I spent most of the evening last night editing video. I finished editing a segment that's about 16 minutes long. And it's just a part of the Sunday morning show. It's a recorded show, about an hour to 90 minutes. I haven't quite decided yet. But totally, I guess I'll save this for the show. Eat while we're listening. So today is Old Time Radio Wednesday. And today we have Jungle Jim. If you were alive back in the 30s and 40s, then you were reading the comic strips in the newspapers on Sunday morning. And the Sunday morning comics weren't completely relegated to Sunday morning. They happened all during the week. The kids were, always looking at the comic strips, and as were the parents, Family Circus, and a lot of the weird. I guess back then, it was what we would consider a show today. A little comic strip. That was a show for the kid in the morning. So as we all know, before there was the internet and television, there was the radio. Yes, there was a time when we had radio and no television. No, we didn't drive around in covered wagons and ride horses. But listening to the old time radio shows really does harken back to those old days, right? So let's, without further ado, let's get the show started. Let's see. We can put this guy here. And this guy here. And let's pull this guy back until we are... Let's just put this guy right over in the corner. Isn't that cool? And we will go put on Jungle Jim. There we go. And away we go. Oh, we better turn it up. And let's see what we got here. Turn me down.
Presenting the adventures of Jungle Jim. Last week, as the Reverend Chalmers lay spread-eagled in the merciless rays of the tropical sun, Shanghai Lil, the Batwoman, tortured him as she tried to make him beg her forgiveness. When the Reverend fainted from exposure to the intense rays of the sun, Shanghai Lil ordered him released and thrown into a dungeon. In the meantime, Jungle Jim had planned to surrender to the Batwoman in order to effect the rescue of the Reverend Chalmers. And after ordering Kolu to guard Lynn Chalmers, Jim set out alone. The thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim are pictured each Sunday in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest pictorial supplement of humor and adventure. The Comic Weekly, each page printed in full colors, is distributed everywhere as an integral part of your Hearst Sunday newspaper. And now we continue the story. In the plantation house, Shanghai Lil, the Batwoman, and Jacques Labat, her overseer, listened to the message of the tom-tom.
Those drums get nearer and nearer, boss.
Yes, our friend Jungle Jim is coming closer and closer into the net.
And the daughter of the missionaire, too. You forget her?
I'm not forgetting her, Labat. And once we meet, she won't forget me either.
By God, I bet she don't.
Chalmers won't regain consciousness for some time, so we won't have to worry about him just now. We can turn our full attention to this nosy explorer, Jungle Jim.
Boss, I've been loyal to you, Nespa.
Yes, Labat, so far.
Everything you tell Labat to do, he do, eh?
Yes, you've obeyed my orders pretty well. What are you getting at, Labat?
You grant Labat one little favor, boss.
Oh, I suppose you want to have charge of Jungle Jim's entertainment.
That's right, boss. What you say, eh?
You haven't forgotten that beating he gave you in O'Flynn's cafe, have you?
No, by God. That's the one and only time Jacques Labat ever gets knocked out. And it will be the last.
You hope. Well, I'm going to grant your request, Labat. When this man is in our power, I'll turn him over to your gentle hand.
Gentle, by God. You like for the joke, boss. I show that young Jim how gentle Jacques Labat is.
I'll bet you will. Oh, the drums have stopped. Our prisoners must be almost here. Come in.
Missy, White Swan, come this way.
What'd I tell you, Labat? Who's with him, member?
Nobody with him, Missy. White Swan all alone.
Alone? Where's the girl? Where's his boy?
No, Missy. All Mamba see, White Swan come this way.
That's funny, boss. What happened to those others?
My sentries must have killed them off, and this Jim managed to escape their fire.
Only to walk right into your hands. By God. I go out and say hello to that fella.
Oh, no, you won't. You stay right here.
I thought you said turn him over to me, boss.
When he's in our power. I don't want him tipped off as to who his captors are just yet. I warned him that day in O'Flynn's Cafe that if he ever crossed my path, I'd kill him. I want him to see me first, LaBoss. Remember?
Yes, Missy.
Take Walyo and bring back this white swan.
Yes, Missy. Number 2. Walyo, Ingani Kaboko, Swan Toro.
No. Listen, Member. I want you to bring him back alive.
At that moment, back in the hiding place selected by Kolo, Lynn Chalmers is worried.
How long will Swan Jim be gone, Kolo?
Solo no, Missy. Swan no say.
You say this Batwoman tortures her prisoners?
Yes, Missy. That woman cruel.
Then she's probably torturing Dad.
Missy, maybe that woman no torture mission Swan.
Oh, you think because my father is a missionary, he may be spared?
Maybe, Missy.
Oh, I hope you're right. But if Jim falls into her hands, he won't be exempt. She'll torture him all right.
Swan Jim no fool. He no throw life away. He take care self like Kolu take care you, Missy.
Yes, I know you're going to take care of me. But I do wish Jim had let me go with him. This hanging around waiting is worse torture than facing the Batwoman.
Maybe. Kolu no want to be captured by that woman. Kolu see native boys he punished.
What is she do to them?
Better Kolu no tell Missy.
They were so cruelly mistreated? Is that it?
Yes, he Missy.
Oh. Kolu, how long will we stay here?
Stay here for signal, Swan Jim. Kolu wait like he tell.
But we don't know how long that will be.
No, Missy. We no.
Listen, Kolu, we haven't heard any drums for a long time. Let's get a little closer to Tuan Jim so we can be ready for his signal.
We stay here, Missy.
I can't stay here, Kolu. I shall go mad. We must follow Tuan Jim.
Better we stay here, Missy. Swan Jim no want us seen by that woman.
We could keep out of sight.
Better we stay here.
Kolu, do you like this bracelet?
Yes, he, Missy. Kolu like.
Would you like to have it for your own?
Yes, he, Missy.
You may have it, Kolu.
Thank you, Missy.
Wait a minute, not so fast. You may have it if you will leave here and follow Tuan Jim to the Batwoman's hideout.
Swan Jim say we stay here. Say Kolu watch over you safe.
Yes, I know. But you can guard me just as well further along the trail.
Swan Jim save Kolu many times, Missy. We stay here like he say.
In the meantime, Mamba and Walyo have met Jungle Jim and taken him captive.
Well, boys, now that you have me all tied up, do either of you happen to be called Mamba?
Him, Mamba. Maski, Walyo.
Oh, so you're the lad who captured the Reverend Chalmers, are you?
Mamba capture mission Swan, yes, he.
Where have you got him hidden?
Swan see.
Good. That's what I'm here for. You're both the Batwoman's boys, aren't you? She sent you after me, didn't she?
Maybe.
That's right, Mamba. Don't say anything that might incriminate you. Murderers and criminals the world over retort to the same tricks. Well, where are you boys taking me?
You see. You'll find out.
It wouldn't by any chance be this plantation house we're coming to.
Maybe.
Oh, stop trying to be so mysterious, Mamba. You didn't have anything to do with my being your prisoner. You don't think I'd be here if I didn't want to be here, do you? Let's hurry and meet your mistress.
Come with Mamba.
Well, this is some house, Mamba. I had no idea there was a place like this around anywhere.
Maski Swan.
Come in.
Say, where have I heard that voice before?
Here, White Swan, Missy.
The woman I met in O'Flynn's Cafe. You here?
Why not? This is my house.
Then you are the Batwoman.
That's right. It doesn't take long for you to catch on, does it? But it's too bad you forget so easily.
What do you mean?
When we met that day in a Flynn's Cafe, I warned you not to meddle in my affairs, Jungle Jim.
I don't know who you are or what you're up to, miss. But I let you capture me for one reason.
Indeed. And that is...
So that you might release the Reverend Chalmers and take me in his place.
What makes you think you could replace him?
The Reverend Chalmers isn't alone in the world. He has a daughter.
And she's not dead, eh?
No. Her father's my best friend, and I want you to release him. You may do as you please with me, but give him back to her.
And you're willing to die for her. Well, as the parson would say, greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for his friend, or words to that effect.
I'm not trying to be noble. I'm simply doing the only thing in my power to free my best friend. The girl means nothing to me. You warned me that if I ever crossed your path again, you'd kill me. Well, here's your chance. If you'll set the Reverend Chalmers free.
Listen to who's talking. A man with his hands tied behind his back, with two natives with rifles guarding him. A man standing alone in the midst of his captors. Why, you stand there and try to bargain as though you had an army behind you and you were here under a flag of truce.
Will you set the Reverend free?
You listen to me, Mr. Jungle Jim. You saw fit to disregard my warning, so you must take the consequences. I choose to keep both of you as my prisoners. All right, Mamba, open the door and hit that gong. There's another friend of yours here whom I think you'll be surprised to meet, Jungle Jim.
Not Lynn.
You mean Lynn Chalmers?
Never mind. Who is this friend you speak of?
Here he comes now.
Labar. I might have known.
Yes, you might have. Labar is most anxious to meet you again.
Oh, so you got that Jungle Jim fella, boss.
Here he is, Labar.
By God, I'm glad for to see you, Jungle Jim.
Yeah, I bet you are.
You finished with him, boss?
For the present, yes. Labar will have a chance to avenge himself for that beating you gave him, Jungle Jim.
I'll be glad to fight him again, miss. And I'll lick him again, too.
Not this time, you won't. Eh, boss? This time it will be Jacques Labar who do the licking.
All right, Labar. Take him away.
Come on, you. I'm going for to fix you plenty. You coming for the what, boss?
I'm going to see how our other prisoner is, but I'll watch you get started, Labar.
Good. This time, Jungle Jim, she's going for to get real whipping. Why, you? Fetch me my full whip.
I should have known you wouldn't fight fair and square.
Shut up, you. Stand over there. Remember, untie his hands. We chain them to the whipping post.
Here, whip one, Yapa.
Good. Now, tear his shirt off. Good. Now stand back. Stand back or give me room. By God, I show you how Jacques Labar can whip. Watch me, boss. I laid this bull whip around his back, around the post, and around his back, all with one swing.
He has a strong, muscular back, hasn't he?
Huh? Oh, so has Labar, boss. Regard it. I pick off the shirt, so. Now, watch the muscle in my back when I swing these bullwhip. So. How you like Labar's muscle, eh, boss?
I still prefer Jungle Jim's.
Hey, boss. Wait, where do you go?
See our other prisoner. Bring that one along when you're through with him.
By God, I think she's all
Lindsay! Lindsay!
Yes, Missy.
Come here. How's the Reverend? He come through yet?
Yes, Missy.
Good. I'll just go down into the cave and have a look at him. Well, Reverend,
Who's that?
it's me. I've come to get that apology. Are you going to give it to me?
I have nothing to apologize for, Lily DeVille.
Still singing the same tune, are you? I guess I'll have to let Labar give you a lesson like he's giving your friend Jungle Jim out there.
Jim? Here?
Yes.
Where's Lynn? Where's my daughter?
When we captured your friend, he was alone.
Oh, then my daughter is really dead. Oh, hey, oh!
Yes, Labar, what do you want?
Come along, Mama. Why, you? What? Here we come with that big, strong fellow that called himself Jungle Jim. Ha, ha, ha! He tamed away like one schoolgirl. What? What have you done to him?
He's been teaching him a lesson, I told you.
Throw him down there with the padre. Look out, boss. Jim. My God, that was over too quick, boss. What I do now?
I've got something for you to do, Labar. Reverend, take a look at your friend's back. That's a sample of what's coming to you. And now I've got to leave you. Bendy, you've got 2 prisoners to guard. Labar, you come with me. I want to talk to you.
Jim, what did they do to you?
Oh,
Jim, speak to me.
go ahead. Have your fun while you can. My turn is coming.
Jim, this is Chalmers, Jim. Manly Chalmers.
Oh, the Reverend. Oh, thank God I found you.
Jungle Jim has at last succeeded in finding the Reverend Chalmers, but at the price of his own freedom. As the prisoner of the Batwoman, how can he hope to escape single-handed and then rescue the Reverend Chalmers and finally reunite him with his daughter? These and many other famous characters of the world of pictures appear in the Comic Weekly, distributed with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. In the Comic Weekly, you will find the Captain Yammer Kids, Barney Google, Toots and Casper, Flash Gordon, the Little King, Tilly the Toiler, and your old pal Skippy. There is also a new group of color poster stamps to add to your present collection. Don't forget our date next week at this same time for a continuation of the thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim. Presenting the adventures of Jungle Jim. In the meantime, intrigued by the suggestion of Jacques Labar that Jungle Jim was in love with Lynn Chalmers because she was so feminine, Shanghai Lil surprised the big French-Canadian by suddenly appearing in a dress instead of her usual riding breeches and boots. Before Labar had recovered from his astonishment, she ordered him to bring Jungle Jim to her and to leave them alone together. When Jim appeared before her, Shanghai Lil declared she wanted him to marry her. The thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim are pictured each Sunday in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest pictorial supplement of humor and adventure. The Comic Weekly, each page printed in full colors, is distributed everywhere as an integral part of your Hearst Sunday newspaper. And now we continue the story. Sitting languidly in her fan-backed wicker chair after making her audacious proposal of marriage, Shanghai Lil coolly gazes up at the open-mouthed Jungle Jim.
Well, Jim, what's your answer?
Why, I hardly know what to say.
You know what I expect you to say.
What do you mean?
I expect you to say, yes, of course.
Why do you want to marry me?
One reason is because I'm fool enough to have fallen in love with you.
You don't expect me to believe that, do you?
Why not? Aren't you a handsome man? Haven't you broad shoulders, a slender waist, and strong, powerful arms?
So is your friend Labat.
Labat, that animal.
Nevertheless, he fits the same description you have applied to me.
This hardly seems the time to joke. I never was more serious in my life, Jim. I've never met a man quite like you before. I used to dream that one day I'd meet my ideal. Then my illusions were broken one by one. And at last I abandoned all hope of meeting anyone who could measure up to my expectations of the man I would call husband.
And now I'm elected, eh?
Yes, Jim.
If I may remark in passing, you certainly have a peculiar way of showing your love for me.
I have. Why?
Didn't you turn me over to that 8-man of yours to be tied to a post and whipped?
Why, yes. Yes, I did. I'm sorry about that. You see, I'd promised Labar that he could have his revenge for the beating you gave him in a Flynn's Cafe the day we met. So I had to keep my word. But that account is squared now. I want the two of you to become friends.
I suppose Labar wants to bury the hatchet before he gets what I'm going to give him at the first opportunity.
Listen, Jim, Labar is my overseer. You licked him once, now he's licked you. That evens up the score.
Does it?
Of course. Oh, come now, Jim. Don't pretend you're going to hold that against Labar or me.
That remains to be seen. You said a few minutes ago that one reason you wanted to marry me was because you had fallen in love with me.
Yes.
That leads me to suspect that there must be some other reason behind your demand. Usually, in entering the state of matrimony, love is supposed to be the complete and only reason.
That is my only real reason.
Then why did you say it was one reason?
Why, you picked me up on something that had no meaning, Jim. It was just a phrase. I spoke in generalities.
Are you sure that's all you meant?
Certainly. Why all this third degree?
Well, maybe it's because I can't understand why you should suddenly find yourself in love with me. This is only the third or fourth time you've seen me.
Evidently, you don't believe there's such a thing as love at first sight.
I certainly don't. I've heard lots of folks pull that old bromide, but it doesn't fool me. There just ain't no such animal.
That's what Lily DeVille thought, too, Jim. Until you came here.
Apparently, that's your story, and you're going to try to stick me with it.
How can you talk like that when a woman bears her heart to you as I have?
All right, we'll skip that part of it. But you've got a mind as well as a heart. What's in that?
I don't know what you mean.
You never go in for anything unless it means some return for you. And romance wouldn't be any different as far as a woman like you is concerned. What could you get out of marrying me? That's what I want to know.
Oh, you think I carry a motive?
I sure do.
Well, if I was looking for one, I could easily find it. You see, Jim, most of the natives on this island have heard of you and are very fond of you.
Go on.
As the black woman, I already have a good part of them under my thumb. Together, we could rule this island, Jim.
Oh, so that's it.
You may not know it, but we could develop its resources very profitably. What do you say now, Jim?
Just this. Listen to me, Shanghai Lil. You set yourself up as a goddess in the eyes of these poor, trusting people so that it would be easier for you to cheat them.
Oh, Jim,
You're a crook and a murderess.
Stop.
I have no use for you.
That's enough. Hello, Goku, come here and take Jungle Jim back to his cell. Jim, we'll be married this evening. Dr. Chalmers will perform the ceremony.
I don't think he will.
I say he will if I have to torture the wedding service out of him.
At that very moment, back at the hideout, Kolo is giving chase to the black-skinned native who has grabbed Lynn Chalmers and started off through the bush. Stopping only to pick up his rifle, Kolo goes crashing through the foliage and brush.
Missy! Missy!
With the powerful hand of her captor over her mouth, Lynn is unable to call out as she is dragged further and further into the bush. Hampered by his struggling prisoner, the native is unable to make speed. And in a moment, Kolo comes within sight of them. But he is afraid to fire his rifle because his bullet may strike Lynn. Suddenly, the native sees Kolo. Pulling the girl in front of him to form a shield, he fires at his pursuer. Kolo disappears amid the foliage.
Kolo, are you hurt? Kolo, save me! Save me!
As Lynn renews her struggles to get free from her captor, Kolo works his way through the foliage to get a better angle of attack. Finally, he gets within range. Pointing his rifle into the air, he fires a shot to attract the attention of the native. Then he calls.
Run, Missy! Run back to hideout!
As Lynn breaks away from her captor, both the savage and Kolo start shooting at each other. Suddenly, the savage pitches forward on his face. After making sure the man is dead, Kolo calls.
Missy! Missy! Him dead now! Missy!
Here I am, Kolo.
Wait for Kolo, Missy! These shoot boys try to take you away. Kolo, kill him!
Good. I'm poor thing he killed you, Kolu.
No need. Be afraid, Vicky. Polo know how to hide in bush.
Oh, that was awful. He almost had me, Kolu. I wonder where he was taking me.
Him, one of Batwoman boys, Missy. Him take you to her.
Are you sure?
Me sure, Missy. See?
Oh, what's that thing?
Dead bat. Him wear round neck. All boys of Batwoman wear bat tied round neck.
Oh, horrible. Put it away, Kolu. I don't want to see it anymore.
Yes, see, Missy.
Now, do you know what we're going to do?
Go back hideout, Missy.
No, we're not. We're going to find Tuan Jim.
Tuan Jim say wait. We wait.
Are you going to start that all over again? I listened to you before when I said we ought to follow Jim. So we stayed at the hideout and waited for his signal. And look what happened.
Kolu know this happen sometime.
Well, it's not going to happen again.
No, Missy. Kolu stay near you all time now. No leave hideout.
We won't leave the hideout because we're not going back to it. This time you'll do as I say. It's foolish waiting for a signal. If Jim isn't in need of our help, he'd have said it long ago.
Missy no understand. One Jim say him no make signal only when him need help. No signal, all good. Get signal, come quick. Help.
No matter what he said, Kolu, things aren't working out as he expected. We've given him plenty of time. Now we'll go on until we find him.
Missy, how you get here?
You mean in this place, here in the brush where we are now?
Yes, see, Missy.
Why, you know as well as I do. I was dragged here.
Missy, go back hideout same way.
Kolu, let go of me.
Missy, come with Kolu.
Meanwhile, Jungle Jim has been taken back to the dungeon in which the Batwoman is keeping him and the Reverend Chalmers.
So Shanghai Lil wants you to marry her, does she, Jim?
She's gone past that, Reverend. She's definitely made up her mind that you'll perform the ceremony.
What?
Yes, tonight.
No, I shan't do it. You know I won't, Jim.
Perhaps they'll make you change your mind.
Oh, so she intends to use a little persuasion, does she?
If you refuse, yes.
Of course I shall refuse.
Now, hold on, Reverend. I know you're my friend. And as such, of course, you feel bound to defy our captors. But if you do, it's going to mean more torture.
They tried to get an apology out of me, didn't they? Well, I refused, and they haven't got it yet.
But you've got a blistered body.
Oh.
These devils are up to anything. I couldn't let you submit to any more suffering on my account.
Listen to who's talking. You offered your life to free me.
That was different, Reverend. I'm just a knockabout adventurer. I haven't any home, any family, and darn few friends.
Oh, nonsense.
What happens to me doesn't matter. But you've got a life of service to humanity. You've got a daughter who needs a father.
Jim, you may not have any family, nor any permanent home, but you've a great many friends. Everybody here in Malaysia knows and loves and respects Jungle Jim. They all say you're the squarest, fairest white man in the jungle country. I think it's worth anything I might have to go through to keep you free.
Thanks, Reverend. But I couldn't let you get tortured for trying to help me out. So you aren't going to refuse to perform the ceremony.
Jim, you don't mean you intend marrying, huh?
Not of my own free will, I don't.
Oh, thank heaven. For the moment I was afraid that woman had got you under her spell. Lily DeVril can be a siren when she wants to be.
Judging from my last interview with her, and the way she was dressed in frills and flowing skirts, I guess she wants to be right now.
She's a thoroughly bad woman, Jim. She's no scruples and no conscience. She was deported after she served 10 years for killing a man. She's become a woman without a country.
Well, she's planning on making Malaysia her country and herself queen.
And now she wants you for her consort, eh?
Yes. But I won't become Mr. DeVril while I have my senses.
Good for you, Jim, and I'll stick with you on that.
Reverend, the time has come to give Kolu the signal.
Yes, I think you're right.
We must find a chance to do it before tonight.
Up at the plantation house, Shanghai Lil is making a few plans of her own.
Amanda hasn't come back yet, LaBonce?
No, Lily, that black rascal won't come back yet.
I'll strip the hide off him when he does.
By God, that's too hard work for a beautiful woman like you. Better you let Jacques Labat do that.
All right, you can do it then, but see that it's a good job.
You leave everything to Gently Jacques. Eh, Lily?
LaBonce, I want you to get his hibiscus flowers and orchids and decorate this room this afternoon.
You going for a gift party?
Well, yes, in a way. I want this place to look like a tropical garden. Everything must be fixed up as beautiful as possible.
By God, you so beautiful, Lily. It will be hard to make room seem beautiful beside you.
You're breaking my heart, Labar. Such compliments. I wish somebody else would pay them to me.
What you mean? Everybody thinks you're most beautiful woman in the whole world.
Well, I know at least one person who doesn't. But never mind that. You see to it that this room is fixed up by tonight.
Mary,
You see that Jungle Jim has some new clothes and a razor. He might like to get cleaned up before the ceremony.
what that ceremony?
Well, yes.
What you mean, Lil?
Well, you see, Labar, I'm going to marry Jungle Jim tonight.
Lily,
And you're going to be the best man. Besides, I may need you to see that the Reverend Chalmers performs the ceremony.
Jack Lata, the best man. By God, that good joke.
Well, I'm going to get ready for my wedding. And by the way, Laban, maybe you'd like to use that razor before you give it to Jungle Jim. You certainly could stand it.
Oh, you want for to marry with young Jim, eh? I have helped her all this time, and why? Because I love her. Sacre bleu. Now Lily thinks she throw me aside like one old shoe, eh? By God, I show her.
These thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim are dramatized from a scene in the Comic Weekly, the world's foremost supplement of humor and adventure. The big full-color Comic Weekly, which is distributed with your Hearst Sunday newspaper everywhere. In the Comic Weekly, you will find all the famous characters of the world of color pictures. You can laugh with Skippy, chuckle with Bringing Up Father, and roar at the antics of the Little King. And there's Toots and Casper, Barney Google, Flash Gordon, and the Katzenjammer Kids, and many, many others. Don't forget our date next week, same time, same station, for a continuation of the adventures of Jungle Jim.
Did he just say Katzenjammer Kids? Wow. Talk about a big oaf scorned, huh? What's he going to do? What will he do? Let's find out.
Presenting the adventures of Jungle Jim. Last week, Jungle Jim and the Reverend Chalmers came to the conclusion that the Batwoman wasn't as powerful in controlling the natives as they had thought. They decided to find the weakest link in her chain of followers. In the meantime, while Lin and Kolu captured Mamba, who had landed his canoe near their hideout, Shanghai Lil tried to get the Reverend Chalmers to agree to marry Jungle Jim and herself, but he refused and was again imprisoned. Then Jacques Labat appeared and asked Lil to marry him, but the Batwoman ordered him out of her sight forever. Jacques Labat left in a rage, warning her that she would never marry Jungle Jim. The thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim are pictured each Sunday in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest pictorial supplement of humor and adventure. The Comic Weekly, each page printed in full colors, is distributed everywhere as an integral part of your Hearst Sunday newspaper. And now we continue our story. Back at their jungle hideout, Lin and Kolo, having bound their prisoner, Mamba, question him.
Where did you take my father, Mamba?
Tell Missy, old fat woman.
Is he all right? Is he alive?
Mamba, no.
Well, what do you mean you don't know?
Mamba been away long time. No see.
But he was alive the last time you saw him.
Mamba talk.
But he was alive the last time you saw him.
Yes, Missy.
And Jungle Jim?
Juan Jim, him all right same day, Mrs. Juan.
You hear that, Kolu?
Yes, Missy. Juan Jim no send signal. Him all right. Missy, why Mamba come here this place? Better you ask.
That's a good idea, Kolu. Why have you come here, Mamba?
Mamba, tell Missy. You here? Why you here? Nasty.
Nasty? What does that mean, Kolu?
Him say, no mind. Make no business you.
Oh, it's none of my business, eh? So you make him tell us, Kolu.
What you do here, Mamba? You talk. No got something. Him say, do no thing, Missy. Him lie.
Ask him if the Batwoman said him to look for us.
But woman send you, Mamba. Tell Kolu.
I belong me, him like sleep.
You no tell. You long time catch some sleep. We see night along me. What you do here?
Mamba go bush.
Him say, him run away, Missy.
From the Batwoman?
Yes, Missy.
Him lie, Missy.
But he isn't wearing a bat, Kolu. Maybe he's telling the truth. Ask him how far we are from the Batwoman's place.
How much far Batwoman place, Mamba?
No too much fast.
Which way? That way?
Maybe.
Kolu, if he's run away from the Batwoman, why doesn't he tell us how to find her?
Wait. I find out. Mamba. Maugi. Kuyu Gabu. Kuyu Bagwago. Batwoman.
Batwoman. Champarangi doyavo. Magwo dopogova.
What's all that, Kolu?
Me ask Mamba why he no tell us of Batwoman. Him say no can tell. Batwoman got much power. Batwoman kill him if him tell.
Kolu, what did you want to do with Mamba when we first met him?
Me say kill him.
That's right. And I said not to, didn't I?
Yes, he Missy.
Maybe I was wrong, Kolu.
Missy, you let Kolu kill Mamba now?
No, Mamba tell.
All right. Which way Batwoman place?
That way.
Just as we thought, Kolu. That is the way the native was dragging me.
Missy,
What is it, Kolu?
Drum, you hear?
Yes, I hear them. Why?
Drum say Juan Jim go marry Batwoman.
Oh, no.
Yes, he Missy. No Drum tell. Something all same wrong.
You bet something's wrong. Kolu, are you sure you have Mamba tied up securely?
Yes, he Missy.
Then come on. We're going to save Jim.
Meanwhile, back at the plantation, Jungle Jim and the Reverend Chalmers face their hopeless situation.
How did you make out with Lil, Reverend?
Oh, just as we expected, Jim. She tried to make me say I'd perform the ceremony, but I refused.
Didn't she promise you your freedom?
Oh, yes. She tried to bribe me with that, but I was firmer than ever.
Bully for you, sir. But I'm afraid you're in for a tough time of it now.
Yes, Shanghai Lil intimated as much just as I was leaving.
I'll bet she did. While you were gone, I offered a bribe to Zenzi, my cartridge self.
Did he accept the bribe?
Yes, very willingly.
Oh.
No, you're wrong, sir.
Why?
It wasn't so good.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, he took my belt, all right. But when I asked him to bring me a gun and some ammunition, he said, "Mesquite," and walked off.
What luck. Well, I didn't offer a bribe, but I dropped a word or two that I hope will bear fruit.
You think you found the weakest link, Reverend?
Well, we'll know sooner or later.
Who was it? While you were Goku?
Neither. It was Jacques Labar.
Labar?
Yes.
Why, he's Lil's mainstay, Reverend. Her right-hand man. You think it was wise to say anything to him?
Oh, I didn't come right out with anything, Jim. I merely dropped a remark that I hope will puzzle Labar enough to make him come and ask me what I meant.
What did you say to him, sir?
I said, counsel is mine and sound wisdom, and he that hearkeneth to counsel is wise.
Well, he must have thought you were crazy.
Yes. He looked at me as though he thought I was just that. He was still looking at me as he went in with Shanghai Lil and shut the door.
I'll bet he asked her what you meant.
Probably. But as I've been quoting scriptures to her all through the interview, Jim, I'm inclined to think she parted off.
Let's hope so. Now, in the meantime, suppose we get to work with this.
A knife? Where'd you get it?
While you were with Lil, I made a survey of this cell room. I found it tucked away in a corner.
Good.
Some other guest must have hidden it there, and then before he got a chance to use it,
Was killed.
most likely. Well, we're going to put it to use right now.
How?
We'll cut a hole in the roof.
Good.
They won't see it as quickly as if it were cut in the side.
Quite right, Jim.
And then when it's dark, we can get out and try to make a run for it.
Yes, guard. Lil's got them posted.
Yes,
You forget I want you to try and make out escape when we hit the fire going.
Yes, I know, Reverend. But this time, we've got a weapon to defend ourselves with. Right. Now, I'll start cutting our way out. You watch from the window there and see that we aren't surprised by the guard.
Righto, Jim. And when you get tired, I'll take your place up there.
Okay, Reverend.
How's it going, Jim?
Good. You know, we owe somebody a lot of thanks. This knife is plenty sharp. And it shouldn't be long now before we'll be out of here.
Meanwhile, Shanghai Lil is getting together her wedding outfit. She stands in the center of the main room of the plantation house while a native woman arranges her bridal veil.
Well, mosquito netting doesn't make the best bridal veil in the world, but it'll have to do. Be afraid to use plenty of it, Neezy.
Yes, Easy.
You never can tell how things are going to turn out, Neezy. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to talk about the swell wedding I'd have someday. Ribbon girls, maids of honor, flowers, organ music, yards of tulle, a train a mile long. And look at this outfit. Instead of tulle, I'll wear mosquito netting.
Yes, Easy.
And the only way I'll get the parson to perform the ceremony is at the point of a gun. Isn't that a hot one?
Yes, Easy.
You keep your mouth shut and fix my veil. What do you know about it? Talking to you is like talking to myself.
Yes, Easy.
I must get a new overseer now that I've fired LaBar. Who's there?
Mamba, Missy.
Member. Well, it's about time. What kept you?
Me find white girl, Missy.
Good. Where is she? Outside?
No, Missy. On island.
You stupid fool. I told you to bring her here, didn't I?
Yes, Missy. Mamba try.
Don't tell me you couldn't capture a girl.
Mamba try. Native boy fall on Mamba from tree. Mamba fight. All get black like night.
Go on. Then what happened?
Mamba get tied up. Catch him prisoner.
How'd you escape?
Mamba get out of rope. Run to Wagam. Come back to here, Missy.
Good. Get my air canoe ready, Mamba. I'll be with you in a minute.
Yes, Missy.
All right, Neezy. Here. Put this veil away.
Yes, Easy.
And see that Walyo and Goku get some flowers to decorate the room.
Yes.
I'm going away for a little while, but I'll be back soon. And if everything isn't fixed the way I've ordered it, I'll strip the hide off every one of you.
Here, Wagam ready, Missy.
All right. Get in, Mamba.
All right, Missy.
Is there some rope here, Mamba?
Yes, Missy. Plenty rope.
That's fine.
Where we go, Missy?
I want you to show me the island where you discovered that girl. I'm going to bring back the maid of honor for my wedding.
Taking turns, Jungle Jim and the Reverend Chalmers work like beavers, cutting a hole in their prison.
Tired, Reverend?
No, Jim. I'm good for a while yet.
I wonder where her ladyship went in her seaplane.
Heaven only knows. But if she stays away long enough, we may be able to get out of here before she gets back.
Look out! Get down here, Reverend. Quickly.
What's the matter, Jim?
Here comes Labat. And boy, is he drunk.
Yeah, well, Blackheart.
Yes, it looks as though my plan is working, Jim. Is he alone?
Yes. Well, that's funny. He's heading for this window here instead of the door.
I find out now.
Hello, Labat.
Hey, you shut your face up. I want to talk with the Padre.
Well, Lamar, and what can I do for you?
Padre, what do you mean when you say that funny, smart thing up to plantation house? I've been trying for to make it out.
I meant just what I said, Labar. He that hearkeneth to counsel is wise.
What country do you mean?
Just this. Shanghai Lil is a bad woman, Labar. Sooner or later, she'll be caught by the authorities and punished. Anybody caught with her will receive the same punishment as she does. Now, if I were you, I'd get away from here before that happens.
Well, yeah, you're right, but I decided that myself.
Good for you, Labar. I didn't think you had that much sense.
What I tell you, young Jim, you shut your face up.
Why, Labar, I'm paying you a compliment.
You don't pay me anything.
If you're going to desert Shanghai Lil, Labar, why don't you take us with you?
Huh? Here she comes, Shanghai Lil.
Yes, we've got to work fast, Labar. What do you say?
What I say is, I love Lily. I want for marry with her.
That's great, Labar. I'm all for it. You help us out of here, and the Reverend and I will help you to marry your girlfriend.
That's right, Jim. I'll marry them with the greatest of pleasure.
Listen to me. Lily is in love with the young Jim. She won't have me. And if she won't have me, she shall have no one. I see to that.
Will Jungle Jim and the Reverend Chalmers manage to escape? And will the jealousy of Jacques Labar mean the eventual fall of the empire the Batwoman is building? These fascinating adventures of Jungle Jim, which you have just heard dramatized, are pictured in full-color action pictures in the Comic Weekly, that entertaining magazine distributed with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. In the big Comic Weekly, you will find all the famous characters of humor and adventure who live in the world of color pictures. There is Skippy, Barney Google, the Captain Yama Kid, Toots and Casper, Flash Gordon, and the Little King. Next week, there will be a continuation of the dramatized adventures of Jungle Jim. They will reach you from the same station at the same time.
One more episode.
Presenting the adventures of Jungle Jim. Last week, Shanghai Lil made a second attempt to capture Lynn Chalmers, but Kolo and the girl heard the Batwoman's plane and hid in some leaves. Lil started a search, but unable to find them, she returned to the plantation, where she was surprised by Jacques Labar, who covered her with his gun through an open window and tried to make her consent to marry him. But Lil shot at the love-maddened French-Canadian who escaped in the bush. Then she sent her boys to bring Jungle Jim and the Reverend Chalmers to the altar. Jim offered resistance, but was knocked out and dragged before the Batwoman, who ordered the Reverend to proceed with the ceremony. The thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim are pictured each Sunday in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest pictorial supplement of humor and adventure. The Comic Weekly, each page printed in full colors, is distributed everywhere as an integral part of your Hearst Sunday newspaper. And now we continue our story. Dressed in her bridal outfit with yards of mosquito netting draped as a flowing veil, Shanghai Lil stands before a jungle altar. A native supports the unconscious form of Jungle Jim beside her. On the altar is the Reverend Chalmers, two natives standing over him with red-hot irons.
Well, Reverend, start reading the wilt thous.
I will not go through with this, Lily DeVille.
Put on a new record and change the needle, Parson. I'm tired of that song.
Call it a song if you like. The theme will remain the same. I will not marry you to my friend Jungle Jim.
Doctor, I've left you alone for quite some time, longer than I originally intended, and longer than I should have. I can see that. I find your vacation has made you even more stubborn.
You are quite right. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord.
Don't start those quotations again. I hate those smug sayings.
Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth the reproof shall die.
Enough of this. Get your little black book open and start reading the wedding service.
If I were to speak with the tongues of angels, or in all the languages of the earth, Lily DeVril, could I never make you understand that I will not marry you to Jungle Jim?
You won't, eh?
No.
Amber,
Yes, Mrs.
maybe that iron you're holding has cooled down during this parley. Get another out of the fire.
Yes, Mrs.
Ah, that's better. See that nice white-hot glow, Parson?
Yes, thank you.
Now listen to me. You marry Jim and me, or you'll never read another wedding service.
Even if I wanted to marry you, it's physically impossible.
What do you mean?
I am forbidden to marry anyone who is unable to make the responses. The man you call your bridegroom is unconscious. He must be in full possession of his faculties before any ceremony can take place.
On the level, Parson?
This marriage would not be legal.
Maybe you're right. I never thought of that. Thanks for the tip, Reverend. We'll just wait until Jim recovers his senses. But when he does, you read that service, or my man will use that white-hot iron, and you'll never read anything.
While the fourth wedding is going on, Jacques Labat, who fled after exchanging shots with Shanghai Lil, is celebrating his triumph in the hut of an old trader.
Oui, by God. I tell you, Adolphe, I have fixed that Lily. He make fool of Jacques Labat for the last time.
Good for you, my friend. You are a man. Have another drink.
Oui, merci.
Continue, my friend. I'm anxious to hear what happened.
Well, and then, Adolphe, I asked her what she going for to do. What you think? What?
He say he won't marry you.
No, you have her wrong. She no say nothing. She knock over the lantern and start shooting. Me? I emptied the gun into the dark house. Then I dropped to the ground and run into the bush and come here.
So, you think you killed the Batwoman, this far?
My way. C'est ça. I emptied my gun into the house. All is quiet. I hear nothing as I run away. I fixed that, Lily. No more she make fool of me, Jacques Labat.
That was a nice story, my friend. I am no friend to that fat woman. I wish you had killed her.
What that you say? You wish I have. I tell you, Lily is dead. I shoot her myself with this gun.
You shoot at her, yeah, but you don't kill her.
How you know?
One of my native boys tells me he hears the drums announcing the start of the wedding ceremony.
When you hear that,
Just a little while ago.
give me another drink, Adolphe. So that Lily, she have tried make fool of Jacques Labat again, eh? She try for play possum, by God. Give me that rifle and some bullets. This time I fix her for sure.
Meanwhile, back at the island hideout of Lynn Chalmers and Colo, our two friends are making their way to the plantation to rescue Jungle Jim.
Colo, you have no idea how I felt when I heard the Batwoman say she would fire if we didn't come out of our hiding place.
Yes, Unity. Kolu knows. Me feel same way.
I had a terrible time keeping from jumping out of the leaves. And then I heard the shot, and I thought she must have seen you.
Yes, see, Missy. Kolu thinks she shoot Missy.
Well, thank heaven for that bird that got caught in the weeds. It lost its life, but it saved ours.
Yes, see, Missy. Now we go save Mission Juan Jim.
Yes. Oh, I hope we get there in time. Jim mustn't marry that woman. He mustn't. She's too good looking.
Yes, see, Missy. Juan Jim, him better marry Missy.
I'm sure you mean that as a compliment, Colo.
Yes, see, Missy.
But that woman is much younger than I expected. Maybe Jim doesn't want to be rescued.
Oh, yes, see, Missy. Him no like bad woman. Better we go save him.
You ought to know, Colu. All right. If you're sure Jim couldn't be in love with the Batwoman, we'll go and rescue him. And Dad.
Yes, Missy. Look. Tall rock can stick up in air. Kolu climb up. Look, see.
Yes, do. Maybe you can see where we are, Colu.
Yes, see, Missy. Me. Take, look, see, and tell.
Well, what do you see?
You see home of Batwoman. Something happened there. Quiet. Much people stand around.
That must be the wedding ceremony. Oh, let's hurry, Colu.
Yes, see, Missy. Yes, see, Missy. Missy, you hear?
Someone's coming along the trail behind us. Who can it be?
Missy, no be afraid. Stay here. Kolu hide. When one go by, Kolu stand at him, back with rifle. Missy, no be afraid.
All right, Colu. I'll try not to be.
Who's that? Lily?
Please don't shoot. I'm Lynn Chalmers.
Oh, my God. Lynn Chalmers, the daughter of the padre, eh? What do you know about that?
Who are you?
Me, Jack Lava.
Then you're the Batwoman's man. You killed that boy back at O'Flynn's Cafe.
Wait, how you know that? My God, I know see you before in all my life. And you know about Jack Lava? Me, I must be well-known fella, huh?
So I understand. You're terribly popular with the police.
May we? They always asking me come over see them sometime.
What are you doing here, Labat?
Oh, I have little business finish up.
What kind of business?
Shanghai Lil, she want for the padre to make marriage with her and jungle regime. I go see about that.
Oh, no, you don't. Keep your rifle pointed at him, Colu.
Yes, see. Oh, what happened here?
You're our prisoner, Labat.
Prisoner for why?
Colu and I are on our way to see about that wedding, too. And we aren't going to let you interfere without breaking it up.
You break it up. Oh, my God. That one funny thing.
You won't think it's so funny when you see us stop the Batwoman from marrying Jim.
Yes, mademoiselle, you know understand. Jagalaba no gone for the help Lily marry with Jungle Jim. Me, I go for see she no marry with him.
What?
For a long time I work for that Shanghai Lil. I do everything she tell me for to. I love her.
You love the Batwoman.
May why not? I am man. For a long time, I loved that Lily. Then she see these young regime. Now she gets married with him, and I go for put hand to the whole business.
How are you going to do that?
You see these rifles? It is what you call high power. It will hit target from a long distance, n'est-ce pas? Oui. So when Jacques Labat get near enough to get him at that devil Shanghai Lil, we're going for to squeeze the trigger and kill her.
Meanwhile, back at the weird altar, Jungle Jim has recovered consciousness, and Lil tries once more to get the wedding underway.
Silence! Well, Jim, can you stand up alone now?
Yes, I'm all right.
Don't be too hasty about recovering, Jim. Take your time.
Huh? What do you mean?
Touch your face, Reverend. Save your voice for the reading of the service.
Service? Are we married?
Not yet, Jim. You were unconscious, and I refused to perform the ceremony until you had full possession of your senses.
Jim's all right now, my dear Dr. Chalmers, so let's go.
But he has no intention of marrying you, Lily DeVille. And I cannot marry two people unless both are willing to be united in holy matrimony.
What? Stalling again, are you? Well, you, member, let your white-hot irons do a little persuading.
No, wait. Don't torture the Reverend. I'll marry you.
Well, you've really waked up, haven't you, Jim?
Jim, what are you saying?
You heard him, Parson. He says he'll marry me.
I can't let you suffer on my account, Dr. Chalmers. And this woman is capable of doing anything to accomplish her desire.
Oh, Jim, you can't be yourself. You don't know what you're saying.
Oh, yes, he does. And so do you, Reverend. Now, quit stalling. You're going to marry us tonight, so you might as well begin while you've still got your health.
I know what I'm doing, Reverend. It's all right. Doesn't matter what happens to me. I haven't a relative in the world. But you have Lynn to think of. Lil,
Yes?
if you'll let the Reverend go free, I'll go through with this wedding.
That's all I want of the Reverend, the reading of the service. The minute he pronounces us man and wife, he can walk away from here a free man.
You hear, Reverend? Lil has promised to set you free. Go ahead with the words of liberty.
Liberty for me. Lifelong captivity for you, Jim.
I'll take that chance, Reverend. As long as you are free and unharmed.
Big-hearted Jim, the Sir Galahad of the jungle. Come on, Reverend, start reading.
Oh, very well. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the sight of God and in the face of this company to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony, which is commended in Holy Scripture to be honorable among men, and therefore not to be entered into unadvisedly or lightly, but reverently, discreetly, and soberly in the fear of God. Into this holy estate, these two persons present come now to be joined. If any man can show just cause why they may not lawfully be joined together, let him speak now, or forever hold his peace. Jungle Jim, wilt thou have this woman to thy wedded wife?
I will.
Lily DeVril, wilt thou have this man to thy wedded husband?
Reverend, Shanghai Lil, she's been shot.
Did Jacques Labar finally succeed in his revenge and murder Shanghai Lil? These thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim are dramatized from a scene in the Comic Weekly, the world's foremost supplement of humor and adventure. The big, full-color Comic Weekly, which is distributed with your Hearst Sunday newspaper everywhere. In the Comic Weekly, you will find all the famous characters of the world of color pictures. You can laugh with Skippy, chuckle with Bringing Up Father, and roar at the antics of the Little King. And there's Toots and Casper, Barney Google, Flash Gordon, and the Katzenjammer Kids, and many, many others. Don't forget our date next week, same time, same station, for a continuation of the adventures of Jungle Jim.
Well. That was awesome. Well, let's see here. Let's get, before I get started, somebody remind me at 7 to wake my wife. It's Wednesday. She's off to help friends. So there you go. Good morning again, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's February 14th, 2024. It's just after 6 in the a.m. And we're going to be on here for about another 50 minutes, 50. And then we'll go wake up the wife. And then I'm going to pull the trigger on whether or not I'm going to start editing video now or wait till this evening. I seem to be doing pretty good in the evenings. Just the other night, I got in like 8 hours. Last night, I got in about 4, maybe 6 hours. It takes about an hour to save out my work. It's about a 15, 16-minute video. Right now, it takes about an hour to save everything out once it's compiled in the program. And then it gets squirted out as a finished video. And then I still have the project loaded in the editing program so that I can continue working on it. I just like to save my work just in case. So yeah, here we are. We're live. We just finished listening to Jungle Jim. And what an interesting program that is. I guess it comes from a Sunday morning cartoon strip. And you heard the announcer mention Katzenjammer Kids. Now, I had always, as a kid growing up, I had always heard reference to the Katzenjammer Kids, like the Bopsy Twins. But I've never actually seen anything related to the Katzenjammer Kids. Who are they? What are they all about? Who wrote and created Katzenjammer Kids? If somebody can help me out here, please. I'm at a loss. I know at some point I'll probably pick up the old dumb phone here and find out what's going on. But here we are. Reverse Van Winkle here. I've spent most of the last few days editing. And once I get this project, actually, I'm at the point to where I need sound. I've put in some background sound, and now I need music. So I've been fiddling with the idea of a theme for this particular segment. And I jotted down a few notes. And I'm hoping to enlist some help on the recording of the theme song for this particular one. Actually, for all the music, I really hope to get some help. Because I don't want it to be just a showcase about me and my shit. I'd really like to get friends and or family to help create small segments to go on the Sunday morning show, because it's a recorded program that's probably going to run about 90 minutes. And I would really like to get other people involved, because it's not just a Sunday morning program modeled after like Sunday morning, but it's really like to show real people, and I want to get others involved and show me their stories and what they do in their real world. Weird stuff, weird people like us, so that it's not so average and mundane, right? And if you've followed along to this point, you can see that I've been doing quite a few more hits than regularly. I think it's the time that I spend in the chair editing, looking at the monitor. It really wears on my neck, and it's one of those things that I'm requested by doctors and chiropractors not to do. No upward gazing, no staying in one position for a long time. And lately I've been going against the grain. That's one of the reasons why I stopped. I used to shave my head, and I used to shave my face. I looked like a thumb, right, from the neck up. And that's pretty much why I stopped shaving, was my back and neck, because doing this, to look up every day, to do the whole shaving thing, and then the head, and everything and all of that repetitive crap. Like driving was no good for my neck too. Painting, looking up, doing a lot of upward gazing is all about painting. It's just so. Yeah, I don't do a lot of that anymore. Don't shave. Try not to stay in one position looking up. That's why you probably see me not looking directly at the camera a lot, not looking directly at anything, just kind of letting my neck do its thing. But I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm devoted to getting these videos done and trying to get this pilot episode of Sunday mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. And I've got some things in mind that should be relatively easy to put together, and then some things that are just very time consuming. Just edit, figuring out how to do a particular segment, and then preparing for it, and then shooting the video, and then editing the video, and then trying to back it with some kind of sound. It's all pretty horrendous, but if it wasn't for this morning show, I wouldn't have the enthusiasm and the drive to just do it. So thank you if you stop by and you're one of the people that give it a few minutes or give me a like or make a comment or something. Thank you so much for being the wind beneath my wings. Thank you so much. And coffee. Coffee is the wind beneath my wings. Yep. Like beans are the wind beneath my butt. Right?
Hey, Margaret, did you hear what he just said? Hey, he said his farts are like wings.
Right? Okay, so as we go on and on further into this project, you'll find out more about me. I'll hopefully find out more about you. I don't want this to be one-sided completely, but this is more for me and my friends and family than it is for anyone else. So it's okay that there's no one paying attention to this religiously, and that's okay. I'm not very religious, so I'm very spiritual, but I'm not very religious. And look up these words, and you'll understand what I mean. I'm not anti-religion. A lot of people like to grasp on the things that I say and then believe what they about it, not understanding how I believe things. So if that's the case, if you're one of those that you just assume you understand what's going on in my head, well then go away, because this is for open-minded weirdos, okay, not closed-minded, stiff-necked stuffed shirts. Okay, this is not the venue for that. This is just hanging out and being real. Okay, I like to smoke a little weed. I like to drink a lot of coffee. I like to dwell in the past, and I surround myself with the past because it is my creative muse, if you will. Others have a pretty face or a sunset or something as their muse, and mine is the past. Mine is history, artifacts from yesteryear. Right? That's where I get my energy. I don't find much in the present that keeps me enthralled. I like to use the past to help me understand the present. And so therefore I don't go in for cancel culture, and I don't go in for PC, and I don't go in for woke shit. What I do go in for is reality and learning from history, not trying to hide it or bury it. What I go in for is understanding people on a real level, without all the bullshit, without all the media and social media and crap that's constantly being thrown at us. I try to avoid, being in the now. If I'm in the now, it's to retrospect, and that's about it. So there. Why do I do this show? I do this show for me first, and then I do this show for weirdos who want to hang out and be weird and express their weirdness. I think the more that you watch this show and other segments and other videos that I do, the more you'll understand that it's okay to be weird. I've been, weird my entire life. Since I was a little kid like this, I was weird. All right. I acted weird. I looked weird. I dressed weird. All the other kids wanted to wear the new and the best, and I was completely satisfied going to thrift shops and digging up striped pants, checkered shirts, and shiny tap shoes and stuff to wear to school, because I was weird. I grew up listening to Dr. Demento on the radio, on KMET 94.7, Tweedledee. I would stay up late at night as a kid, teen and preteens, watching old weird movies. And I would try to reference these old weird movies with friends, and they would scratch their head and, who is this weird guy? Their parents would get it, which baffled them even more, that I could sit down with, the parents of my friends and have conversations about stuff from their old days, on their level. And that would kind of freak my friends out a little bit. When I was really young, I used to sit and talk one-on-one with adults. And so by the time I got into school, kindergarten, first, second grade, kids were alien to me. I didn't have a lot of kid friends my age. So I spent a lot of time alone or talking with adults, right? And that was okay. Now I'm at the point to where I can talk to people my own age, and we can talk about stuff from our day and things from their parents' day, which kind of puts us on the same level on a greater magnitude. Hey, Margaret, this guy talks funny. All right, I talk funny. I've always spoke my words in an unusual pattern, mainly because I think about what I say. That's probably the main reason why I sound the way I do when I string my words together, is because I was taught to think before you speak. And this has led me to have an unusual speech pattern. All right. I use funny words, and I phrase things unusually. And that's just one of the quirky things about me that makes me weird, I guess. And if you watch the show enough and you watch my segments, you'll see that, I ain't lying. I'm a kook. Kook, 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 kook. And that's cool. I don't mind being weird. I used to hide from the world because I was so weird. and I knew I was really, really weird, because I would see it in my school photos. I would see it in family photos. I would see it in the mirror. I would see it in other people's faces and their eyes that this kid's a little different. So I used to hide from the fact that I was different and weird and strange. And then I started to notice more and more that there were a lot of other people out there. I mean, it was like, one in a million. It was like one in a 100,000 or something. Every once in a while, you'd run into somebody who was weird like you, not as weird, mind you. People weren't. I never found anybody as weird as me, save maybe a handful of people on the planet. I'm sure there's more out there. I just haven't been able to find them. Now maybe I can find more weirdos. But yeah, I was, on some weird level, I was always the weirdest guy around, and I couldn't get around it, so I just accepted it. Eventually, when I got into like junior high, well, actually, it was probably fifth grade when I met one of my very first early friends, Charles. That I found out that there was somebody kind of weird. Hey, this guy's kind of weird. Who is this guy? He likes the Rolling Stones, and he likes music, and he's kind of weird like me, kind of kooky. He talks a little funny, and it's like, well, that's cool. And then in junior high, I met more semi-weird people. They dressed normal. For the most part, they acted normal. They did their homework. They didn't get in trouble. They brushed their hair. But I started finding people that were weird, and then I started hanging out more and more with these people, and they helped me to see that my weirdness was a benefit. It wasn't a hindrance. So socially, I was a social weirdo. I was a social misfit, but I was also weird enough that when I was with people of a similar caliber, my weirdness paid off. And I found that I could use my weirdness to help me be funny, to help me start up conversations, to help me make friends. But suffering from lifelong depression, being, weird on a social level meant a lot of acting, right? You have to act when you're young and you're out with your friends. There's a lot of acting involved. And no matter what you want to say, it's true. So in high school, I would really, enjoy hanging out with my friends and being social and doing all this stuff, but it took its toll on me emotionally and mentally. Physically, it was draining. And I would have to literally extract myself from the world and go hide for weeks or months, and then come back in and, hey, I remember you. People would, hey, where the hell have you been? And I would, come up with some stupid reason of why we were, well, we had to do this, or, I was sick, or, whatever. And I was sick, sick in the head. And depression is no joke. A lot of people don't understand depression. What the hell are you sad for? You got nothing to be sad for. It's not a matter of being sad. It's a matter of, well, you know what? I'm not going to go into it, because research it. Find out what depression is. It's not just being sad. It's not just, well, why can't you just cheer up? You get a great life. You get all this stuff, It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with mental chemical imbalance or whatever. There's a whole slew of issues that can cause severe clinical depression. All right. But I try to avoid that by keeping myself going, keeping busy, doing stuff, enjoying life. Take a bite out of life, McGruff. Arr. Yeah, coffee is just about gone. I'm not going to drink anymore because I don't want to be too fidgety. I do want to get back into the editing. So I'll probably wake my wife up in about a half an hour and have a little bit of breakfast and set up. And if I'm not going to be doing any editing, I think I'll probably have to work on music and try to get some music recorded to fill in the gaps in this video. And I'll probably just pick up one of these guitars and just do some light strumming in the background, right? Because I can't be too light. I'll have to use a pick. My fingers still chewed up from all the picking I've been doing lately. So I'll have to do some light strumming with a light pick. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I mean, just find some chords and a melody and then just kind of, what I'll probably do is try to come up with a theme music first and then use the acoustic and just strum kind of a variation of the theme through the, that's probably the best thing to do, and keep it, keep it real, man. Far out. So what are we gonna do tomorrow? Now, at the end of last week's last episode, actually it was Thursday, was the last episode of the first season, and I was on for about 3 hours, and I decided to play a little music in the third hour. So if you haven't seen that episode, go back. It's episode 32 of season 1 in the playlist, season 1 playlist. So check that out. So I may do some more live music or not tomorrow, Thursday, last day of the show week. Am I going to go to 5 days a week? No, because I want to save Fridays for a Friday evening show. And I've done a pilot. So if you want to check out the pilot, check out the pilot. Friday Night Live at 5. And at some point, I want to do a regular Friday Night Live at 5. But I feel like I don't have enough cameras going on or enough sound. The whole point of the Friday Night Live show would be to highlight local entertainers and artists, musicians, various walks of life from around the area here, because we've got a lot of really interesting people, a lot of art, a lot of music. We've got a really eclectic mix of individuals out here, as witnessed on Saturday night when we went and saw the Chicken Lady perform down at the Beatnik Cafe. Now the Beatnik Cafe has been there for a long time. When I first moved out here to Joshua Tree, it was called Radio Free Joshua Tree, and I don't know why, but at some point it became the Beatnik Lounge. During one of those incarnations, I can't remember which, I had some art on display there. I'll try to dig up some photos at some point and go into my art days in a video. But I displayed some art there with a lot of the other artists and art students from the area, and that was fun. That was neat. I put together a collection of works that I did over a few years, and and displayed my stuff about half dozen times in various locations. The Beatnik Cafe and the Glass Outhouse out in Wonder Valley, and I did the 62 art tour, the Highway 62 art tours, and did a co-op studio thing with one of my fellow art students, and so the art. I found out that there's a big art community out here, and then just recently I've been getting back into music, and found that there's just a huge, music community out here as well. Really, kind of a close knit music community. And you see that when you go to the different open mic nights up and down the Morongo Basin here, at the different bars and clubs and venues and stuff, and you see a lot of the same people showing up on a regular basis. And let's see, today's the 14th, and I believe on the 16th, Friday night, I get to go down to Palm Springs to the 420 and see a new friend from the open mic community. Tavi is going to be performing some of his songs at a club there. So, right on, man. He's gotten into it. He's making it happen. He's got a paying gig, and he's got some great stuff. At some point, I'd love to get him over here for a Friday night live so that you could meet him, and we can talk about how he got started and his influences and that kind of stuff, because he's just a really great guy. And thank you, David, for taking me out and getting me back into the socializing thing, and meeting all of these wonderful people. Thank you so much. For a long time, for way too long, I had myself stashed out and sequestered away from the world, away from music, away from everything. Didn't watch the news. I didn't listen to the radio. Very seldom would I do anything other than watch, old DVDs and tapes, and listen to old music and radio shows and stuff. And I would just, avoid media, and the present like the plague. And I don't do that any longer. I mean, I still avoid watching the news, especially now during the political year. But yeah, my shell, and throwing me back to the mix. Because reverse and weak, right, to where the world is at, or at least to where everybody can look back with me and on the same page, right? By everybody I mean people of my era, because I understand that not everyone is the same. But hey, I just had to check. Okay, music has really been therapeutic for me. I used to sing really speaking. Now I didn't really raise my voice. I didn't put a lot of lung power into it. I didn't sing from the diaphragm. And now I'm starting to really wail out those songs, just let it rip. And I found that, of course, it's true, but I, not singing at a higher volume, I didn't find out until recently that you can do so much more with your voice when you can sing soft but also sing really, really loud. And so now I can put, you know, 10 or 20 times the emotion. I can go 100% with the emotion now into a song rather than, you know, only have a certain amount, a certain percentage of myself that I'll put into a song, and now I give it all. Now I give it all I got, and even last week on Thursday, last Thursday show, the last show of the season, and I played some songs there, and even those songs that I played even just a week ago, I wasn't putting the power into it. Of course, it was morning time, but it's a huge difference now, and I can't wait to get together with David and maybe somebody else and actually cut it loose and be able to sing with drums playing and a guitar wailing on the amplifier. The difference between how I feel I sing now and how I sang a couple of weeks ago at open mic night. It's a huge difference. It's a confidence booster. So I've been practicing and practicing and practicing a half dozen songs over and over and over. And I'm going to take at least one of those and do an open mic thing again to try to redeem myself. And, for nobody else but me, because I want to say, okay, well, at least I did that. I can get that out of the way. And then if I want to do it again, it's not a big deal. I've done it before. So yeah, I'm going to, that's it. That does it for coffee. But my main thing, my main purpose right now is this YouTube channel and creating fun and entertaining content. That's it. And I think I can highlight a lot of that entertaining content in a Sunday morning 90-minute recorded program, because it gives me the opportunity to do so much more than just sitting here and talking. And there'll be some of that on the program, but in the kind of in the chair of Charles Osgood, or one of those guys. So it won't be so much me just sitting and talking, but I can use a lot of the editing and technology and stuff and other material and content. So it's not just me, blah, blah, blah. While I do enjoy to do this, and I'm sure somebody out there will, get a kick out of it eventually. But the 90-minute program, recorded program, is more focused and more honed, and allows me to use my creative chops a little more. Like that. Is the sun bouncing off my head yet? That's cool. It should be shooting off, right? Coming in and bouncing off. Totally, man. Totally. So back to neck checking. I'm not going to get into playing music today. I really enjoyed the Jungle Gym program. That was interesting, wasn't it? Be sure to leave a comment if you stop by at some point and you're hearing me now, or anytime if you hear me now and you're stopping into one of my programs. Say hi. It doesn't take but a second to use those texting thumbs and shoot me a message. Say hi, let me know you're watching. Tell me I'm a friggin' idiot. I don't care. Um, if I'm an idiot, then you're not weird enough. So there. There's plenty of weirdos out there. At some point, they'll find me. I guess I should probably put that into the keywords in my description. Weird, weirdos, weirdness, weird guy. But a few people have found me in the morning. A couple of viewers from Canada, to be sure, and that's pretty cool. I like to, I like to communicate. I don't want to sit and talk completely about myself in the mornings, but hey, I will, because after all, it's this whole morning thing is about me, and having my little diary, my log, every day to keep me focused, keep me up, keep everyone else updated, and allow me a chance to not vent exactly, but reminisce, be nostalgic. Most often in the morning, I will just sit and talk about my childhood, all right, and then maybe how that childhood affects my present. I don't like to dwell in the present, so we won't be talking a whole lot about that unless it's the local scene, because I'm a local kind of guy, and I don't really, the outside world is not my purview. It's not my wheelhouse. I like to stay thinking about stuff that I enjoy thinking about, right? And there are, upwards of 8 or 9 billion people on this planet, and there's more than enough people out there to screw it up, right? In my very small capacity, I will try to change the world, but no one has listened to this weird guy so far over my 55 and a half years here on the planet. So I don't expect that to really change. It would be nice if I could start some kind of snowball revolution of change, but what am I, the cult of personality here? Most people out there have a limited oh Lord. So most people out there have a limited capacity to pay attention, short attention span. They just want to be entertained and they want to move on. If people had any notion of, slowing down and getting into a regular thing, then then I might have people hanging out. But people don't want to do that. They want to, like my daughter said, people will get involved if you grab their attention in the first couple of minutes, the first couple of seconds, and maybe on my videos, but on a live thing like this is not, I watch live broadcasts on YouTube all the time. And what I notice is a really low live viewer count, right? Less than 100, sometimes more than 10. But for the most part, the viewer count is really, really low on live programs like this. One guy walking around doing stuff, one guy sitting there talking. Live camera feeds where it's just a static camera, or a roaming camera or something on a street scene or something. Now those get a lot of live views, but I mean, like me, people put that shit on so they have something in the background, some kind of ambience sound or picture going on while they're doing something. I mean, it's not like we're sitting there, glued to it. I'll put on like one of those Kensington Street channels where you watch the bent people struggle with their existence, hooked on that trank shit, right? And so I'll put that on once in a while, and I'll put on those beach channels where it just shows the ocean or a street scene in the Philippines or something, and just to kind of get to a different place and go somewhere without having to leave. That's neat. But on shows like this, you don't get a lot of live viewers. You get more viewers after the fact. And that's why I put these into a playlist, assuming that at some point somebody's going to come along and watch one or two episodes here and there and go, you know what? This is kind of weird. I want to find out a little bit more about what makes this guy so weird, And then at some point, maybe I'll get a little back and forth with some other weirdos out there, because I know you're out there. I know you're out there. Look at that sun on the back of my head. I had thought about putting the monitor here, and I probably will, but I don't mind talking to you on the side here because it makes me feel like there's more people in the room. I got you guys over here, on the West Coast, and then I've got the East Coast over here, and oh, look up there's Canada, so it's not so bad. It's kind of cool. But I think I will move my monitor and put it below my camera here. It'll make it closer here to me, so I won't have to get up when I'm editing video as well. Okay, people, that's my last hit of marijuana for this morning. If you've been watching, if you come back and watch this on my playlist and you watch the entire episode, be sure to count how many hits I take and put it in the comments. If somebody puts in the comments how many hits I took this morning and they get it right, I'll send you a freaking t-shirt. I really will. One like I wear in the mornings. Buzz through my my playlist and watch and look at my different t-shirts. And if you find a t-shirt correctly and you answer one of my weird questions, and you're the first to get it right, then yeah, I'll send you something. I'll send you a t-shirt. I'll send you a copy of one of my coffee mugs or something. Yeah, I want to share my weirdness. So, come on back and hang out and be weird. I really wish I could play some Dr. Demento for you on the record player, but copyright stuff won't allow that, so I won't go there. But what I will do is at some point I will try to learn some of my favorite songs aired on Dr. Demento. And there are a couple that I'm working on now, and I hope at some point I can bring them to you in my own fashion, because I'm not a musician, I'm not a singer, I don't claim to be. I just like to fiddle about with my guitars and pretend I can sing. Sometimes I pretend really well, okay? And sometimes I get a little shiver up my spine and I even impress myself. And that's pretty hard to do because I'm not a musician. And, I just do it as therapy. I do it for fun. I do it to relieve stress. I don't do it so much to be entertaining. I used to fiddle around with the guitar and sing and play to entertain friends and stuff, but that's because I was always on. You had to be on, be that guy. And once I retired from being that guy, I stopped playing the guitar. I stopped playing the guitar for probably maybe 20 years, 25 years. And just, it's not until recently that I picked the guitar up and started playing again. And since I've started playing again, I have probably played more, definitely played more now than I have in the last 25 years combined, not to mention most of my teen years. And while I always had a guitar and did a lot of playing, I wasn't a regular learned student. I didn't play every day, all day long, like a lot of people did to really make themselves musicians. It was more of a hobby for me. And so just recently it's become more than a hobby. It's become, like I said, therapy. I set goals. Here's a song that I hear on the radio. I've heard it most of my life, and I love to sing along with it when it's on the radio. And now I can pick up the guitar and kind of learn my own version of it. And that's really rewarding to my soul, to my emotions, to my depression. It's like an antidepressant now to pick up my guitar and play. This morning program is an antidepressant. It helps to kick me in the ass every day, and it gives me a purpose. Having daily goals and having a routine is really, really important. And when you suffer from depression, you try to avoid that kind of shit, because routine brings about depression. It's part of the routine. You do things over and over and over and over and over again, and it becomes depressing. It becomes horrible and nightmarish, and you live in a dark place when your routine is so mundane and tedious and harsh on your soul. So this is a different kind of routine, and it is really cool and really therapeutic. And I enjoy having those memories that I can get out and talk about and save for posterity, if anything else, for my daughter to look back at. Because I can't sit and talk to people a lot, because there's no one to talk to. Everybody's busy. My wife, she's either busy or she's heard it all before. My daughter, she's always busy. So this way I have the ability to say all of those things that I've always wanted to say, and record them. I don't have to say them again. I can get them out. And if you want to find out about me, go back and watch some episodes, because you'll find out enough. If you really, really want to know about me, here I am. And the neat thing is that I can ask to know about you. And it would be great if we can get to know each other, and it's not just me, doing this thing. And I've had some great back and forth with a few people, so keep it up, weirdos. Keep coming back, keep watching. Please share and like and subscribe and all of those things that empower us to do more and to bring more. I'm up to 47 subscribers now, and it gives me such a kick in the ass to know that 47 people are there wondering what I'm going to do next. And as I wonder, I will continue to create. So let me bust my dishes into the kitchen, and I will say good day, and I will see you tomorrow morning for the last show of the week.
All right, people. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the past.